Well, hello again. In our last session, we dove deeply into our purpose in life, and that purpose is to live for something greater than ourselves. I call it to honor God. Hopefully, God is beginning to stir in you a new vision for how you can honor Him in all that you do. When we move from a purpose of living for ourselves to a purpose of living for God, we move from a philosophy that tells us we should live for ourselves to one that says we should live and serve others. So this week we're going to tackle what I believe to be the greatest calling for all of us, and that is to serve people. You see, serving people is really about building relationships. It's what I call connecting. If you give it a little thought, who are the people that have had the most impact on your life? They're the ones that developed a relationship with you. They connected with you. They took the extra time and the effort to pour into your life, and that impacted you in a very significant way. As we all know, there are various levels of connecting, everything from casual relationships to deep discipleship relationships. But no matter the depth of the relationship, for it to be impactful, I think it still needs to be sincere and authentic. I would encourage you to consider every encounter you have, whether it is casual or deep, as a divine appointment. Every interaction you have with people is an opportunity for you to serve and encourage them. So how do we serve people? I think there are really three important virtues that allow us to serve people really well. So let's go back to the framework for a minute and explore these virtues. I think there are three of them: vision, humility, and courage. And if you look at the framework again, you'll see that in the serve people triangle, the words vision, humility, and courage around the outside of it. The first is vision, the vision to see what should be done. Then humility to believe that it can be done with God's help, and then the courage to persevere until it is done. It starts with a vision. No matter if you are serving someone who is ill or downtrodden or someone who is thriving, all of us need vision. We need it to take the next step. Whether it is encouraging the sick or challenging leaders, we can all use the power and encouragement of a good, strong, godly vision. Secondly, God uses humility to stir the hearts of people. When serving, be humble. Don't be a know-it-all. The people who have served me best are the ones who have humbly brought me back to the wisdom in God's Word. And lastly, let's talk about courage. I am often asked the question, how can I make courageous decisions? Well, I think courage is a result of a process. It starts with honoring God by pursuing the truth, beginning to believe through faith, and ultimately taking the action through character. You see, when you've done this, I think God then gives you a vision for your life, and He enforces that vision with a good dose of humility. At that point in the journey, we often face a hurdle or a challenge, and that is where courage is really required. So if you started with the truth, you've believed in faith, you've exercised character, God's given you a vision, and you're operating in humility, I think God will give you the courage to press on through the challenge. Serving people is not easy. It's messy. It's costly. It can be emotionally draining and literally physically exhausting. But Jesus did it for us, and I think we're commanded to do it for others. Jesus is the greatest example of serving. In Mark 10:45 it says, "For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give His life as a ransom for many." Are you willing to lay down your life and serve others? I want you to dig into this concept of serving, and I'll be back in a few minutes and we'll talk about your homework.